All right, the movie Titanic, so successful, such a wonderful movie. I didn't actually see it because I knew how it ended. I didn't want to see the way it ended, but most people loved it. Okay, but would you want to be a passenger on a replica of the Titanic?
Yes.
Yeah, it's called the Titanic II.
Nope.
It's being built right now. It should be ready to board in 2 years. Okay, now remember what happened to the original Titanic? Do you remember?
Yes.
Hit an iceberg, over 1,500 people died, 1912.
Meredith, you're setting this up to fail.
No, I'm not. I'm just.
You are setting this up for failure.
I should have been born in Maryland because I speak the truth.
You speak the truth.
That is the reality. Now they have much better safety
systems. Not setting it up to fail. That thing failed.
That thing failed.
You got a better chance to get me on the Amistad 2 than to get on that. I ain't getting on that.
And that's going somewhere.
That came somewhere. But first of all, the two of you have not seen the movie. The three of us have seen the movie. I feel like Jack and Rose, I would reenact on that thing.
Jack
It's like a dinner
Jack
place.
died, but I would still want to have him on board and say,
Well, they are going to have that first class, second class,
the
third class.
last hour and a half of that movie. It was traumatic.
but
People
we've
were
learned
dying.
since then. We've learned since then.
flooding. No, it was horrendous.
Can we show the pictures, though, how much it looks like the original? Can you put those up, guys?
look at that.
Yes, look at how almost
would be-
perfectly
There's so many
duplicated.
reasons why I wouldn't get on this.
No.
Number two, because back in them days was my people even passengers when we working the thing.
Yeah, right.
So I definitely ain't getting on that. Okay, I mean, let's keep it real. Not even when I get on that.
Things have changed, though, including safety standards.
I want
It's
that
much safer.
scene where Jack Rose's hand. I want a sketch of me
you
in
just
there.
want to have sex.
I do. I feel like I'm
thing than getting on the
right. Come on, Lance.
I love this. This is like a nice, like one of those dinner parties where you get dressed up like 007
Great,
and
so do a dinner
reenact things.
party on land, not in the ocean, on a boat that already sank.
It's a nostalgic experience to see what it would be like back in the day. Just
No,
not even
same
Titanic,
place.
but just to be on a ship like that back in the day.
It was considered at the time unsinkable. It was the greatest thing
Ship
since
ever
sliced
built.
bread. Exactly.
Right.
That's
I
so
love you guys. It would be so much fun if all of us went together. We could
think
just
it'd
have
be
like a
fun.
reenactment.
I'll give you my ticket and you can invite a friend.
Yeah. But you know how tickets
save them, swap them in the
for the
lifeboat.
maiden voyage are going for up to $900,000
then I'm out.
for first class. But it's going
Sorry.
from China to Dubai.
Bye-bye.
That's the first trip. So
no icebergs.
So
No
because
icebergs.
it crossed
No.
the Atlantic, right? That's,
yes, originally.
Okay.
Well, it didn't quite cross the Atlantic.
Exactly.
but-
Dropped in
But
Greenland.
see, this is the reality. $900,000, you out. You definitely
That's
ain't
what I said.
getting
I'm
on that.
out.
Right.
I'm out. $900.
All
I'm
right.
out. So.
Let's move from boats to planes. If you've ever flown and thought, why does this seat feel so small? You are not imagining things. As Americans' butts have grown, airline seats have shrunk, the big squeeze is on, and now a Republican congressman named Steve Cohen is proposing a bill that would establish a mandatory federal standard for seat size. And he says it really doesn't have to do with comfort. It has to do with safety. Yeah, the FAA hasn't conducted adequate emergency seat evacuation at the current size and angle or pitch of the seats, row to row, that there's not a lot of space
It's
even in
scary.
between.
You have
So-
about 2 inches on your knees, and then if the person in front of you lays back,
You got
there's
nothing.
no way you're getting out.
Right.
Of
And if you
that
think
seat.
you got 2 inches, I got less than 2 inches. No, because it's like the seats get smaller. Every time I go on a plane, I feel like I'm playing Tetris, and I'm like the block trying to get in that little small space.
It's gotten inhumane, really, flying. It is so miserable to get on a plane. So I'm glad this is where I do want the government
But
to
are
get
you
involved.
willing to pay higher prices for
I
tickets?
already
Because
pay
that's
the
what
higher
critics
price.
say.
So you're
Here's the
kidding me?
problem. Our gas prices, oil prices have gone down, and ticket prices still continue to go up. What's the problem? They pay for luggage. They pay for. We get no benefit. So if I get 2 more inches because I'm sitting with my kid on my lap, I want those 2
It's a
inches.
miserable experience, and in most cases, when you fly, you have to fly. It's a necessity if you have to work and you have to get to certain places. You can't drive there. So I'm glad that the government is trying to step in and say, look, let's just make it fair and comfortable for
Well,
people.
they're at least going to study the seats and see whether there really is a safety hazard there, and then they'll move
I
on.
think there
Scariest
is.
part. I didn't
Exactly.
realize they hadn't
think there
tested
is.
Well,
it.
you'd think they would have,
That's
by now.
the scary part.
The
to me.
Titanic and the plane.
Okay, I'll move to something even better.
Oh, yeah?
Okay, Australian actress Rebel Wilson, very popular actress, does a great job. She's been taking some heat since editors of Australia's Women's Day magazine reported that her real age is in her mid-30s instead of 29. She says she's never lied about her age, but when she came to the United States from Australia, she just didn't reveal. She didn't mention her age. She thought it was impolite, and people started assuming she was in her 20s, and she never corrected them. But she also says that ageism is a big deal in Hollywood.
It is a big deal, especially in comedy. Everybody wants you to be younger and young. You got to be a toddler. I done told one person I don't even have my period yet. That's how young I am. You know, I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Even in comedy? Why would that be
comedy? Because you know, everybody wants young and they want fresh, and they don't look for experience. They don't look for older. There's a lot of ageism, and I think the thing that counters that is we have to start saying as people, listen, we want to see some older people also. Ain't just young people in this world. It's some old people, middle, all kinds of stuff going on.
I agree with you, but have any of you ever lied about your age?
Well, it's not. Here's the thing. She didn't lie. She just didn't correct them. And, like, I looked myself up on IMDb. I went to Princeton, and I have 2 kids. Well, I don't, okay? I have no kids, and I went to GW. But I'm not going to correct it because I'd like a Princeton degree for free. I mean, I'll take it. But you think I'm not smart.
You got a degree from GW.
Nothing wrong, but let's be honest. Let's keep it real, like Marilyn style.
I have her back on this.
Better.
I mean, I'm telling you, it's an ageist society that we live in the entertainment industry and in a lot of industries too. But I mean, to get away with being 29 is really hard. For Rebel Wilson, she's playing college students. Same thing in the music industry too. Once you hit that 30 mark, you can't be played on radio. Of course, there's, the anomalies like, Katy Perry, that type of stuff. But look at Fergie, and even Britney Spears can't even be played on radio anymore, and she's a legend. That 30 mark, you're done.
But I think one of the ways to put a dent in ageism or put a stop to it is to tell the truth about your age and to not be. I mean, I'm 62,
but that's all.
And I've done okay. If you start to have that mindset that you have to lie, you're playing into it.
It is, but the reality.
But no, the reality can be this is who we are.
Right, but if you have a name, sometimes when you're a person that doesn't have a name and an established record, you got to start off real young. I ain't telling nobody how old I am.
But if you start off telling the truth,
I'm young, right? I'm young.
You want me to do it?
Right? Thank you.
But Meredith, you're right.
And you,
Dominica, Meredith is correct. You should be proud of your age.
I wish you would tell my age out here. I feel it coming.
I'm turning 41, but
and you turning 41. I'm turning 41 in 10 years.
No, but what I'm saying is I agree with Meredith. I used to lie up because we were in the news business and no one would hire a younger person. So I used to say when I was 25, I'd say I was 30. So I'd lie up. But now I'm proud to be turning 41 years old.
Right.
I'm like, I'm smarter, I'm wiser.
We can all be kumbaya as much as we want, but the reality of it is, I would love to be honest and everyone be honest, but the casting directors, the studio heads, they're hiring majority just young people. That's just what it is.
But it doesn't just stop thinking that's what it is. How about changing what it is? Or it'll always be that.
And if we start to accept our own age and we demand a reflection of who we are on TV or in films, the casting directors will change their behavior.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
But look at Betty White. Look at Betty White. Look at the shows on Netflix.
There are
Helen Mirren.
But also, Betty White started back in the day. She has a long history. She went from black and white to color. Most of us can't do that.
Yeah, but it's weird to also be, you're 25 for 20 years and then suddenly you're 80. I mean, that doesn't make sense either,
True,
there has to be a progression in age. Speaking about progressions, here's a question. How much plus equals plus size? Followers of Forever 21 are outraged by the fashion brand's new launch of an Instagram account of a separate Forever 21 Plus account because they say the plus size models, like the ones in these photos you're about to see, aren't very plus size. And say, if that's plus, a lot of them say, if that's plus, then I'm an elephant, compared to that. They're very insulted by that image because it doesn't speak to the reality.
Right. Well, I guess I'm Horton here's a who, because I definitely am a plus. Now, here's the thing. The reality is those girls are beautiful, and they do represent a part of a plus-size community, but not the reality. I do shop at Forever 21, but I go to the stores. I can't shop online because I have to wear the clothes. I have to go to places like Lane Bryant and Monique C to see real women who I need to see the lumps and the bumps so I know where it's going to hit me. It's got to be realistic.
Forever 21, how old are you?
Girl, if you don't stop with getting this age today.
I can't do that. I don't want her yelling at me.
I'll say mine. I'm 30. 35, I still shop at Forever 21. And to your point, I agree with you. I think that stores should do a better job of having more inclusive models. But I will say one thing that Forever 21 has done, which I do applaud them for, is they have included real plus-size women and featured them on that Instagram account. So this is Rochelle Johnson, okay? She's like a huge blogger. She has got a very real body. I think she's showing off very much what it is to be a plus-size woman in their clothes. And I think she looks incredible. And it's not just models on the Forever 21 Instagram. It's also real women. And I think that's how you find that
but they
balance.
need to also put them on the website where I go to shop. I don't see that girl there.
So if you go into the website and you click for real photos, it actually takes you.
But I shouldn't have to do all of that. I shouldn't have to click and bop around. And it's not even just with big people.
Sell clothes.
I think we should have disabled people, all kinds of people that have to wear clothes.
Absolutely.
So you can see yourself. The sales would go up for that because if I can see myself, I'm instantly going to click on that thing and buy it.